About life. Hey everybody, this is Daryl, aka Goody, and tonight we have Golf Chat Ep.3 with Derrick and Todd. What is up, guys?
What's going on? Ready to talk some disc golf?
Yeah. One thing I want to say, we changed the name of the podcast. Todd, I don't think I talked to you about this.
Oh, so because I have an equal say in it. So.
Well, yeah, obviously. You have a third. But someone messaged me and they said they very polite asked me if I could change the name of the podcast because it was the name of their YouTube channel. And I was like, I am so sorry. I felt so bad about it. So if anybody's on here watching, go over to Let's Talk Disc Golf. Check out those guys. They're doing some awesome stuff over there. So go over there and check them out. Follow them on IG also. Seem like really good people. So give them a sub. Look out for those guys. So what did we do today?
I just ate some Latin American food from Delicious.
Oh, cuisine.
No, we played disc golf.
Oh, we did that too. Yeah,
we're awesome.
Not as good as the cuisine, but yeah. Y'all played well. I played okay except for that one hole. That hole, gosh, that was brutal.
Yeah, got an 8 on it.
Got an 8 on a par 3, and sadly the tee shot wasn't that bad. It just clipped that tree limb, and that's all she wrote. Down the hill. Todd dove into mud to save it.
Yeah, that's when I went in the creek.
It was one of those places where your foot would just right in. So I dodged that.
I mean, mine was safely about 10 feet from there, so it was okay.
Which hole was that? Was that
That was let's see, 8, 9, 10.
11. That's right.
No, that was 12. Was it 11?
No, it should have been 12, I thought.
It was 12. It was 12.
No, it was 11.
No, 11's the one's got the puddle, the water.
No, that's 10. Because I aced 9 a couple years ago. That's the one I always aced, and then 10's the next one.
Yep, you're right. 12 yep. Because 12 is the one that comes back, then 13, then you got the 14, then you 15, then you 16, then you 17. Where we're still looking for that one disc on 17.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Did y'all go back and look for it again?
Yeah, I found a Thunderbird. Somebody else's Thunderbird. I texted him, and he met me up here near Heritage.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that good karma brings me my zone back.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't know, because you've gotten that one disc back like 3 or 4 times.
3 times. I lost it in Roanoke. Somebody called me back, and then I left it in the field. No, I lost it at Lynchburg College on 4. Somebody called it back, and then I left it in the field when we were throwing those. When we were throwing our bag out there.
Yeah.
And somebody left it up there. Went back and got it.
Right. But first off, did you guys get any discs this week?
Yep.
Anything new?
Yep.
What'd you get?
I got a Buzz. Been wanting to try all the Buzzes I have are like ones that I don't want to throw because they have either Star Wars stuff on them, or there's a Brody 3-pack Buzz. It's always hard to get. And tournament thing I went to, it was all these Buzzes that I have that I never want to throw. So I went and bought a stock Buzz. And then I think I bought I bought an overstable mid-range called a Justice. So
Are you throwing them well?
I like the Buzz. Yeah, it's kind of a more stable mid-range. I had the stable mid-range I had was a Rock 3, but a Rock 3 has a big bead on it, and I don't like the beads. So the Buzzes are pretty similar in flight and without the bead. So, and then that overstable, the Justice, I like that. I think it's going to do pretty much what I want it to.
Nice. Derrick, did you get anything new this week?
Yeah, I got a T-Bird 3, and which I can't say I'm really crazy about it. I think I need to spend more time with it. And then I got this new putter. It's made by Viking Disc. I've never heard of them. I tried it out yesterday, and it wasn't too bad. It's another. There again, I need to spend more time with it.
Yep. Oh, that's it? Just the two?
That's all I got.
Just the two.
Wanted to buy more. Oh, I do have a Soul. I do have one of those currently. It's in my
nice.
I mean, you have it right now, but
well, I mean, I'm just holding on to it for you for a while. I also have a putter that I left over there.
Yeah,
it's slightly used, but I've got that over there. But I did pick up a Mamba this week, which I just don't have the arm speed for it yet. So that's one that's just going to be kind of hanging out until I get my arm speed better. And you know what? What do you know? There's a Soul.
It's my disc.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, you threw that one really well.
Yeah, it was going on nicely, but it's got some dings on it, so I may kind of downgrade how much I'm paying for it.
Then you get it for used prices. Yeah.
Here we go.
It's like a $7.99 one now.
Here we go.
Yeah. In the third one, I got another Stingray. This one is a little lighter than my original one. At first, it wasn't going quite as far, and it was turning a lot. But today, when we played the second round, I started throwing it, and it felt a lot better, and it got a little bit more stable with that little extra speed. So felt pretty good with it. So that is my disc haul this week.
Is that the one you threw backwards earlier? When you hit your back turn?
No, that was the other one. The other one's a little bit heavier. Because it was funny when you said that. I was thinking when me and Todd we went to play again, and on that first hole, the first shot was actually pretty good for me. And on my second shot, I was like, I'm gonna try to kind of go around this tree, and it hit the tree, start rolling, got on the path, and it came all the way back to me.
Yes, within like 4 feet.
I was getting like, hey boy, come here, buddy. And that was good fun.
It was hilarious.
But Todd, did you play? This is one of our topics: putter only. What do you guys think about putter only rounds?
Great, they're good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think putter only rounds kind of helps you dissect your swing.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you dissect your process, and it also makes you think more of what you need to do as far as which shots to make, and then, of course, you're not going to throw them quite as far as you do the other disc, and they do fly differently, I believe. I think they're more susceptible. They're not as forgiving as some of the drivers and fairways would be, in my personal opinion.
Like with the distance thing though, like right now, I don't throw my distance drivers that much further, maybe like 50 feet further than my putters. That's just how bad my form and arm speed is right now. And that's the whole point of like a putter only round, is it trains you to throw harder and learn nose angle when you come out, and if you're throwing nose up and it just stalls, or if you throw it into the ground, you're learning that proper pull through and keeping the nose down on your discs. And putters really show your mistakes a lot more. And I remember at the weekly on Tuesday, this guy was out there warming up, throwing bombs like 400 feet. And I was like, all right, give me a quick tip for some distance. And he said, putter only rounds. That was the first thing that came out of his mouth. So he said once I started doing that a lot, he switched to drivers. Like after a little, I don't know how long he was doing putter only rounds, but he switched to drivers and immediately saw like a good bit of distance that he had gained just from doing that. So
nice.
I might start doing that. I'm playing a weekly tomorrow morning at 8:30. I'll probably bring some of my drivers just because I know them better, and of course I do throw them a little further, but more on these casual rounds, I'll probably just throw putters in my bag and take all the drivers out to take the temptation away from pulling out a driver when I'm used to throwing. So
right.
Nice. And like right now, like you were saying that your distance is pretty close. I mean, my putter and my driver with my arm speed right now, it's very little difference at all now.
Yeah, you don't really need to worry about drivers right now, to be honest. Nor do I really. But
I mean, I'm throwing mostly for my tee shots as mid ranges, and I'm starting to feel very comfortable with those. And hopefully, I feel like my arm speed is improving. My distance has been slightly improving. So, just more practice. More practice, more game time.
Hey, I forgot. What's the name of our podcast now? Did you say it?
Yeah. Disc Golf Chat.
Disc Golf Cat?
Chat.
Oh, Cat.
Yeah, hey, kitty.
Yeah. We'll have to revote on that one.
I'm down with it.
It's for all the cats out there. Disc Golf Chat, yeah. We might call it Disco Cat.
Disc Golf Chat. All right.
Do you approve or no?
I'm getting T-shirts tomorrow.
Okay. Well, if you ordered them before today, they're going to have the former logos and name on it, and we will be shipping them somewhere. If
what's next?
Yeah.
wow, that one went quick. I expected there to be more talk about the putting rounds.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
I think. See, the thing about putters is, like I said, they show your mistakes. So if your angles, you're coming out with too much of an anhyzer, they'll immediately go right. If you're throwing it with too much angle on that hyzer angle, you learn. I think Paul even talked about the best thing to do is to learn how to throw a disc straight. And he always talked. I think you had seen the video where he said to start out with putters and learn how to throw it straight to where you can hit your lines and you can keep the nose angle right.
Right.
And it's hard to do it. Like I need to go back and just throw putters. And I'm glad I did that today because it, like on 17, it forced me to throw, a putter where I would normally try to pick up a driver. And honestly, I think I can throw a putter further than my drivers on 17 at Peaks View. But yeah, it's hard to do it because in your head you think you got to go just jump to these fast speed discs, and it really harms your game and your progress more when you do that rather than just starting off with those putters. So we ought to do another little casual round maybe next Friday. I'll probably just keep doing putters with those things. But
Yeah, we should do that. We should just show up with one disc, just one putter. That's all you get. Nothing else.
Especially Peaks Park. I think you can get to where you're throwing putters and pretty close to 10 high on most of those holes at Peaks View. I think you're definitely going to see improvement with your drivers and stuff.
Yeah, because it's got to change your form exactly. It's got to help you tweak things and dial it in. I played putter rounds quite a bit kind of like when I first started because that was the only thing I could really throw, to be honest with you. With a guy, a good friend of mine that got me into the game, which I should probably cuss him for getting me into it, but hey. But yeah, I played putter rounds quite a bit. I think they're fun. They're enjoyable. A little bit more challenging.
Good thing to learn too is your grip. I just started today actually because the dude that I talked to Tuesday taught me power gripping the putters, which is not very comfortable, but it gives you that extra distance. You would be surprised at how changing your grip from like a fan grip to where your like index is out on the edge of the putter and then like your fingers below it kind of fan out, whereas you take all four of your fingers and put them on the bottom of that rim and then grip it tight. That's a power grip, and I've already seen just a difference in that. So that teaches you as well, like how to properly grip a disc, keeping that nose angle down, like I said. And I think it's going to help. I'm just going to force myself, just put all putters in my bag so I don't have the temptation to pull the driver out.
Yeah, because you were definitely throwing your putter very straight today.
I had some good ones. If I had just raised it up threw a little higher, I think I could have aced a couple. But
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed that you did today, Todd, is you really threw slow. I mean, what I mean by slow is your body wasn't really trying to whip through. I saw some really slow throws and really smoother throws. And I was really impressed with that on some of your shots.
I've been working on that too. They say slow is smooth and smooth is far. That's like a saying that this guy on Dynamic Discs podcast says. And, I forget his name, but yeah, I'm working on just trying to, smooth it all out and just work on form, because that's another thing you see the pros do, those big run-ups, just reaching back and pulling as hard as they can, and they do that because they already have a foundation of a good form that is just muscle memory to them, whereas we're just like running up and we have this form going arms up in the air, and you're not gonna get distance that way. So
we get lucky once in a while.
I hadn't gotten lucky yet with distance. I cannot figure out distance, but I'm hoping this putter only stuff up.
Right.
Let's talk about the challenge at Goat Hill. Last week's tournament, a lot of the quote big name players didn't show up for that one.
Even the goat.
Yeah.
Paul Macbeth.
Yeah. Yeah. And the female goat. Paige Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't play at all, did they?
Nope. Took the week off. I assume that was just because it was two reasons. I think one, it was a silver series, but I think the biggest reason, that was just a bomber course. Everything was open, and it was just grip it and rip it.
Yeah.
They added a little more OB from what I heard. The players say that have played that course before in years past, so it was a little tougher, but for the most part, you just try to rip it, get distance. So huge elevation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look, some of it looked like they were throwing over gullies, like they were throwing from mountaintop to mountaintop. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I want to go out and see it.
But the OB was really tight though.
Yeah.
As far as the lines went, because a lot of them were throwing outside of OB, then it would swing back in.
Yeah, got to trust your disc on that.
Right.
And one of the things they were talking about is, I may have misheard, but they were saying that some during the practice rounds, there was actual golfers playing golf on the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with being a silver series, not a whole lot of added cash. They were wanting to reserve the whole course for like 2 days prior to the event. It would have cost a whole lot more. Even some of the players had to pay the course fee, or I think it was like a $15 fee to even do a practice round.
Wow.
I think it was $15 to rent a cart if they wanted to use a cart during their practice round too. So yeah, silver series, not bringing in a whole lot of money. So yeah, they had to, I think, still allow some of the golfers to play. And even the bad thing was, even during the FPO round, the actual round, golfers were actually playing through a couple of times. So it sucks, but
that's horrible.
There's no money in it right now in disc golf. It's getting better, but still, we got a long way to go.
Yeah. One thing I just wanted to throw this in there before we talk more about that is yesterday when me and Derrick were playing, one of the things we saw, and we both smiled at this, is there were some people going out there to play, and they looked like they were in their 60s and 70s.
Well, we saw
it was probably even older than that, because when they pulled up in the car and I saw this elderly man and woman, which, I mean, they're more than welcome to do whatever they physically want to do. I mean, hopefully when I'm 70 and 80 years old, I can still do it myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought it was just it was the coolest thing. I pointed it out to Daryl, and I was like, look, I said, I thought they might go walking like, some of them do on the path or whatever, but they got out carrying bags. I'm like, are they playing? This is crazy. And I was like, it was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. There's a lady, she had like the knee braces on. I mean, not like the real expensive knee braces, but it was compression braces on. I was like, that is so awesome. that they're out there doing the best.
Yeah.
And like I'm just thinking, I hope in 20 years we're out there doing that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
I was like, what does he got? Charger.
Sorry.
All right, back to Goat Hill. I mean the final round, Ricky Wasaki. I mean, that's just incredible. He had a 5-hole stretch with 3 eagles, 2 birdies. I mean, 8 under over 5 holes. I mean, that is insane.
I mean, he was on fire for just about the whole last round. I mean, he finished up completely for the weekend. What, 40 under?
Something along those lines.
Yeah. It was ridiculous numbers. And I sat there and I watched the 3-day total, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, he might have been 12. I don't know where did he get 15 under on the last day. I mean, it was crazy, or whatever the numbers were. His last day, he was much better than the first 2 days.
Yep, 15 on the last day.
It was ridiculous.
Funny thing is, Anthony Barella, did he come in second? I forget.
Yeah,
I think he did come in second, and
he had set the course record at 15 under on the first or I think the second round.
I think it was the second round.
And then Ricky just tied it last round to make sure he held off that lead. But yeah, Ricky, he's on another level. I don't think anybody's going to beat him at Worlds this year. Yeah, he's just crazy. He's hitting every putt within 60 feet, just about.
And the funny thing about it is he had 5 holes where it was 8 under, but the hole before and the hole after, yeah, just for decency, he birdied both of those.
Yeah.
So 10 under on 7 holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
did amazing.
He was on fire. Couldn't nobody touch him, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Been that way this whole season, basically.
I mean, AB held with him for a while, and then the lead started to get stretching out or whatever. He actually, I think at one point he got within 2, I think, of catching him.
Yep.
Then it went down to 3, then 4, and whatever. He fell off after that. I mean, but he secured his second place. But Ricky was just, I mean, you couldn't touch him.
I mean, he hit the gas pedal, and that was all she wrote. I was like, my goodness.
Yep.
What a display of disc golfing. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, I figured he would win when I saw he was pretty much the only, they call them the 1050 boys.
Mm-hmm.
All 4, Ricky, Paul, Calvin, and Eagle, they're all rated above 1050. So, yeah, he was the only 1050 boy there, and I had a feeling that he would probably easily win it. So, he was pretty much lived up to the hype. But I liked Gavin. I think it's Gavin Rathbun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking good this year. He's a newcomer, a name that you haven't heard in the years past, so he's going to be good. And then, but yeah, EB, he'll probably be up there in that 1040, 1050 range soon. He's really young, and he's just killing it. He's a bomber. He can throw 500-600 feet. He's easy. So.
No, yeah, he was out driving most of them on several of the holes. I mean, his bombs are ridiculous.
Yeah, once he gets more control, maybe better putting, he'll be a Paul Macbeth soon. Maybe not that.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
he's very young. He's young, low 20s, I think he is. He's not very old.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that Paul has an advantage of, I guess, is he won all of his world titles. I think the more pioneer stage of disc golf kind of competition. It was still better than it had been, but still, nowadays I don't think you're going to see anybody getting 5 world titles with all the competition. Everybody's getting better. Tons of people getting up to the top and competing every year, every weekend. So
right,
it's gonna be hard to beat Paul's 5 world title, but if anybody could do it, maybe Ricky. But yeah.
I have a little crow to eat because I think it was last week before. It's been like a couple weeks. I was like, I think Brody is just overrated, and I don't mean his rating. I just meant his popularity. And he played really well this week up until the last round when maybe it's just me. I just feel like the pressure got to him on the front 9, and he gathered himself back up and had a decent back 9.
Well, you know what happened? What he qualified for? Did you see that?
No.
So every tournament you have 5 USDGC spots that are open for grabs. So
Mm-hmm.
the top 5 people that are not yet qualified for the USDGC will get a qualification to play in that tournament in September. And he, when he finished the round, he finished, I think he birdied 5 in a row to finish the round. So like 15, 16, 8, whatever. And that tied him with Dustin Keegan for that last USDGC spot. And they had to play a playoff after the whole tournament was even over. It wasn't covered or anything, just because it was separate from the tournament. But he actually won the little playoff between him and Dustin Keegan to get that 5th spot for the USDGC. So he's qualified for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty exciting. Yeah, I've been a Brody fan just because he was he hopped on the foundation. He's a co-owner of Foundation Disc Golf, and he's pretty much been following him, just podcasts and stuff. And I've been pulling for him, but there's a lot of people that hate him. He's one of those very you hate him or love him kind of guy. So, but he stirs up a lot of stuff. He has a lot of hot takes.
Yeah, I like Brody. I was just thinking his actual skill on a course, but one thing I did not take into account is, if I'm not mistaken, was it 2020 or 2019 was his first year, and his first tournament he played after 77 days of going from ultimate frisbee to disc golf, and he's picked up the game really rapidly. Huge props. The more that I think about it, the more it's like, that's really incredible where he's at right now. And then to be in the lead card on the last day,
It's huge.
yeah, that's big. That's big.
I couldn't do it.
Well, I mean, we know you could, but your modesty is much appreciated around here. So I know I don't have any of that.
Well, I know darn well I can't do it. So, and I'm not being modest. I'm being honest.
One thing that happened in this tournament that I have to mention, I can't remember which hole it was, but Cody Kirkland, on one of his shots, he stepped on his disc when he was throwing it, and the announcers was like, "Well, that's at the foot fault." No one said anything, and they just went on like nothing. And the other announcer was like, "Well, no one wants to call it. No one wants to be that guy." Mm-hmm. And I find that to be a huge problem. It's because the first time that I noticed this, that the announcers had mentioned it, because I didn't even realize that was a foot fault. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking to myself, why can they not call it on themselves? And I think I had heard somewhere that they're not allowed to call it on themselves. Someone else has to call it. Because I remember someone in a tournament said he did something wrong, and the other guys that was with him said, "Well, I didn't see it." So they didn't allow it to be a fault.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like in as they call it, ball golf. If they make a mistake, knowingly make a mistake, they were like, "Hey, I messed up there." So I just wonder, is that an issue in disc golf?
Definitely.
I mean, I've never done it 14 times today.
That's a big problem. Everybody feels bad for calling a foot fault.
Except
Nico.
Nico LaCastro. That was the first thing that came to mind, and it was against Ricky Wasaki, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, which it was an obvious foot fault.
I mean, he was about a yard behind his disc when he threw it. And Nico was like, it's a foot fault.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, I did it.
And Ricky was getting pretty defensive. And I mean, I wouldn't think that Ricky would know he had foot faulted and just try to get out of it. I think he thought he was cool, but the whole card, I don't know what they were watching, because it was obvious. So I don't know if they just weren't looking or what, but you do have a responsibility to pay attention to every throw, because you might have to be involved in a vote, because the whole card has to agree on any kind of call like that.
Mhm.
And if you don't see it, then you can't vote. So it was just Nico's word against Ricky's, and the benefit always goes to the player that was throwing. So
Isn't it like the majority of the other people? Like it's usually a 4-person card. Isn't it usually like it has to be like 2 out of 3 of the other people? Because you can't. Because I thought you couldn't vote yourself. I thought it had to be the other people.
I think you vote yourself, because if it's a tie vote,
Oh,
benefit
okay.
goes to the player. So I mean,
Okay.
that's
All right, because like I said, I thought the person who committed the foul, they couldn't even call it on themselves.
I think you can't. You can. Yeah, but you have to get the card to agree. And so I guess if you call on yourself and the card's like, well, we didn't see it, man, I guess you could just walk off and say, all right, benefit goes to the player. So
Wow, that's interesting.
you have to pay attention on your card.
It seems like to me, if I committed a foot foul, and I was like, "Hey, I committed a foot foul," I mean, I can't imagine you guys being like, "I didn't see it, so I guess it didn't happen." I mean, because if one of you guys said I committed a foot foul, I would have been like, well, "Okay, then you get a penalty stroke."
I think you just rethrow.
Oh, you don't get a penalty stroke
I don't
too,
think
or
you get a penalty stroke with a foot fault. I think you just have to rethrow.
oh, so it's really not a penalty.
Yeah, you have to, because Nico called another one on Garrett Gerthy,
Mm-hmm.
and he had pretty much parked his approach shot, and Nico, I think, made a wrong call this time. He called foot fault, and they all, for some reason, I think they all agreed or something, but he had to rethrow, and he like hit a tree and had a bad kick, and he ended up finishing pretty bad on that hole. So it was funny because when they finished the round of that one, Ricky, I think, was high-fiving, like giving everybody like a little half hug thing.
Yeah.
He was going over to Nico, and Garrett just grabbed him and just walked the other way. He didn't want him to go over to Nico, so he was pretty ticked off on that one.
So I guess the consensus is that you can call it on yourself. You just have to get the card to agree with you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. I have the official rules here. I can't find the foot fault area.
So that brings to question the integrity of the player or the person at fault, per se.
But if the card's not paying attention, it's their fault too. But
Right, I agree.
yeah.
But I mean, but my thing is sometimes like you're like one person's in the fairway, one person's way out to the right, one person's way out to the left. So I mean, they may not see because it might be 100 feet away, so they may not see that.
But at the same time, you usually, like with casual rounds, we all just go to our discs. Whereas I think on a pro round, you go up to the left, to the one that's furthest away, right? We always wait on the one that's furthest to throw.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's normally back from that person, because if there's distractions, if you're over here at your disc and he's over here, that's kind of a courtesy thing where you wait until the person, so you stay well behind their view, basically. So usually I think they're within range to really be able to pay attention. But I think, especially on the Pro Tour, I think they're definitely going to be kind of staying together, I would assume. Plus, if you lose a disc, everybody's supposed to go help look. That's part of your responsibility as a card mate too, and you can't just be like waiting at your disc while somebody looks for their disc. You have to actually take part in looking for it, and there's a time limit too on that. But
I was going to ask that very question.
I can't remember the time limit. I think it might be like 6 minutes or something. I want to say 6 minutes, but yeah, once you pass the time up, you have to rethrow. If you didn't find your disc, you have to rethrow from your last lie.
So is there like a penalty stroke for that?
Yes, that would be a penalty stroke.
That's just surprising to me that there's not a penalty stroke for the foot fault, or like when you throw your rethrow. I mean, that should be like your next shot. Seems like to me, but oh well.
Yeah, I think they just made it that way. So,
well, you almost have to wonder too. What does that mentally do to the thrower? I mean, like in your example earlier, he parked it at the basket or his approach or whatever. Then he comes back and throws again. He hits a tree and he kills his hole. I mean,
That
does that build animosity between the players for the simple fact that somebody called it on me?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's why everybody's hesitant to call it, but that's why it's important to call it, because if you're playing your game and you're consciously having to think about where your foot falls, where your foot lands, that's something that you worked on, you've practiced, you've made sure it's part of your game. Whereas if somebody else doesn't really put their foot in the right spot every time, and they're not having to think about that like you are, so it's not fair. So you have to call your foot faults because that's a part of the game. That's part of the rules. It's and there's not everybody's doing it, so it's a big problem.
Do you think that's a rule that they're probably going to change since the card's not callable?
I've heard people on podcasts talking about like having like not like a ref, what would you call it? Not a ref, but like a marshal or something. Somebody that's like there and making all the calls so the card doesn't have to. But that would require, I think, more money to hire more employees to be on every single card throughout the rounds. It's just that would be. I don't think we're there yet. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking there's no way they can have volunteers do such a thing, because a lot of times you'll see, I assume they're volunteers with the red or the green flag, whether it's in or out.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's not like an official. So I mean, I'm sure you couldn't just get like Joe off the street and be like, "Hey, can you do this for me today?" Be sure they don't have a foot fault. So I'd be like, "I am not calling a foot fault on any of these people."
Everybody passed that PDGA approved official exam or something that they have to take to become. I don't know if you have to take it to be a player, but no. But there's an exam you can take to become like an official, or maybe a TD or something. Anyways, yeah, hard to do.
Oh, one thing I did see is I think I heard for the Battle of Bedford, if they are, if everything goes well like it should be when they have the tournament, I think I saw a thing where you can apply to be one of the scorers.
Oh,
for the U disc golf.
Gotcha.
I was like, I don't want that pressure.
Yeah, I would mess that up for sure.
I'd be too busy watching the recording scores. I'd have to ask them after the hole, What'd you get?
And they'll be like, get away from me, I'm playing.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I'm going to be like, Paul McBeth, 1,700 feet. He got a 1, I think. That's all I remember.
But the players do check the cards at the end of the round to make sure. So I guess you have a little bit of a backup, But yeah, I still wouldn't. I wouldn't like that pressure either.
I wouldn't. I mean, I would want to be inside there with them, walking with them, but I don't want to have any official capacity at all.
Yeah, I'll be the one to screw it up for sure.
Now, the Battle of Bedford coming in September, is that something that spectators are going to be allowed to go to? Have y'all read up on that?
So far, yep.
Last thing I saw, because Foundation Disc Golf, they're the ones that run it, and they were talking about as long as everything keeps going, it's looking like they hopefully will have full crowds.
So far, it's anything can happen with all this crazy mess going on. But yeah. Have you seen the pros that are going to be there so far?
I haven't seen the lineup. No.
All I saw was Brody and Paul.
There's a few. There's Paul and Brody. There's Adam Hammis. You know that name? He's going to be there. Then Ezra Aderhold is going to be there.
Gosh, he's a bomber.
Yeah. And there's one more, I think. Alden Harris. He's a pro. So.
Is it men only?
The New London course will be the MPO only. The FPO will be playing over at Independence Park.
It's in Bedford behind Walmart.
Yeah. I didn't hear either one of you.
Any pros showing up at FPO?
Right now, it's just Hannah McBeth. So they got to get some more FPO coming in. I don't know the rest of them that they might be on tour. But it's not any notable names that I know of. I keep up with FPO pretty well.
I'd be awesome if Lisa Fakis showed up, but she just won.
I don't know where she lives. I don't know. I mean, Haley King, she ought to play. I know Haley King. She's involved with the Macbeths and stuff. She ought to be able to play, but I don't know.
I would love to watch her play.
Yeah,
she's tall, lanky, and just flings a disc.
Yeah, she's a bomber too.
She is one of the futures of the female sport, and I love that.
20 years old.
It's crazy. And you just watch her play. I mean, she dominated last week and still or excuse me, 2 weeks ago now, and was just having a ball.
Yeah,
like there's no pressure at all on her. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would also like to see Katrina Allen and obviously Paige Pierce. Love to see them show up, which I'm sure they're not, but that'd be really cool.
It would be. The cool thing is it's kind of in between the Pro Tour events, I think, in Delaware. And then they have to travel down, I think, to Tennessee, maybe 2 weeks after Delaware State. And it's kind of like in between those two weekends. So it's like it's on the way. So a lot of pros could do it if they wanted to, but they might want the time to practice for the next Pro Tour event. So
yeah. Sometimes you got to take that week off, because mentally, it's tough. I'm sure. Speaking of mentally, one of the things I watched this past week was one of the Paige Pierce vlogs, and it was from Waco last year. It was right when the whole world changed and everything stopped. I didn't really realize what kind of a life those players really have. And watching this vlog, it really opened my eyes. The van life, as they call it. And I was like, oh my goodness.
I hadn't watched it yet. Where does she shower? She go to like Planet Fitness or something?
Sometimes it'll be some people's houses on tour. Sometimes you'll go to other places and just find showers.
So there's days you don't shower for sure.
Yes. Yeah,
I think there was quite a few days in between the day and shower.
Yeah.
It's just you and yourself in the van, so I guess it's all right.
I think she had her sister or mom or somebody that was with her.
It was a younger. I think it might have been her sister, whatever. She was doing all the camera work and all of that stuff, whatever it appeared to be.
Mm-hmm.
But they're traveling in these big transit vans, and I mean they're pretty well outfitted. They got cabinets and kitchens in them and beds and all kinds of. I mean they're pretty cool. Which I wouldn't have a problem with it. I've always wanted to build one out and travel the country myself, but I guess it's all in how you set them up. I know just from research that I've done on building them, you can put showers and all in them, and people actually live in the things off grid and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, there's a way that you could possibly set it up better to be more comfortable for the lifestyle that they do live. But of course, that's money and ingenuity and forward thinking too.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have to spend the money, don't spend it. But if you need to, then it's all in how you want to live, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely it's almost like a cross between the hippie and a modern day gypsy lifestyle. It's the way I took it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was a combination of traveling circus and watching NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all going all over the country in their vans, except one huge difference: the finances that they get paid in the trailers that they have.
Yeah.
The NASCAR guys, I mean, their stuff is just pimped out.
Well, part of that vlog they showed where they were bouncing from van to van to van. It's like this van cooked dinner this night, this van was holding a card game, this van was playing board games, that kind of. So it was kind of like a big family, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But they were just what they call parking lot camping, because I mean, I'm sure they might have had generators or something, but I'm sure there was no full hookups or any of the nonsense like campgrounds or whatnot. Which I'm sure there's alternatives that they could do as far as local campgrounds or wherever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there again, it just goes back into what you deem necessary for that lifestyle.
Yep.
But it was pretty cool to see though, because they were all wrapped. I mean, the bands were wrapped and had their faces on them and names and sponsors, and of course, I'm sure they're receiving some kind of monetary gratuity for just doing that part of it from sponsors or whatever. But I mean, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool myself.
I'll have to watch it.
It was really cool because where Paige's was, the doors opened up right beside her. You have the doors open. You've got James Conrad and was it Nate Perkins? Nick Perkins.
Yeah.
Nate Perkins. They're like side by side. Like you see one of them cooking, like, hey, you need them? He's like, I need some garlic. She's like, hold on one second. Just from one.
He was cooking pork chops at one time.
And I was like,
cool. He's like, hey, are you eating dinner with us? And she's like, yeah, sure. And he's like, all right, here. He throws a pork chop.
And then she walks over to, what is that guy's name? I hate to say it this way, but he's shorter. He's a short player. And he's like, yeah, we went fishing, caught some fish. And they're like, yeah, having fish. So I was like, how cool is this? Yeah. But the two of the things that really struck me from, I mean, first, that whole thing. But another thing is they showed when she was at home getting ready, at her parents' house getting ready, the thing I thought was crazy to me is when you think of Paige, you think she's got the button-up shirt, the 3 buttons, the polo shirt. She's wearing either shorts or like sweatpants, waterproof pants, something like that. But she had a disc golf basket in her room. And it had first place on it, so I assumed that was a trophy at some point. But she had clothes all the way around it on hooks.
Oh,
yeah, they'd gone in to do the laundry or something like it. Yeah,
I was like, "How cool is this? Your first place trophy? Just there's some clothes on it."
Yeah, it's a clothes hanger. Yeah,
and I saw dresses there.
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought, these are people too. These are just regular people. These wear regular stuff. They're not always wearing their on-course clothes. I just never thought, wait, Paige Pierce in a dress. Like that just never entered my mind.
Yeah.
But you see her when she gets to the course, her first day of practice. You see how happy and excited she is to get on the course with her friends for the practice round. I was like, how awesome is that?
Maybe that's something she's struggling with this year because she keeps she's taken a couple of breaks this year. She went to Hawaii. I know she's buying property in Hawaii, and like maybe that's something she's struggling with, where it hasn't been that enjoyable for her because it's been such a grind and such a busy time, past decade or so. Seems like she's having a little bit of difficulty finding that joy again. So she's talked about it in some.
There is a point in this that hits almost directly upon that.
Oh, okay.
She plays the first round, and she does not have a good first round. I think she was either 8 or 10 shots out of first place. I'm thinking 8. And after her round, she just you see her with her camera just by herself, and you just see her just fall down and just lay back. She's like, I can't go back to the van right now because there's just so many people around. And she's like, that's the one drawback. Yeah, you just need to escape for a little while. And she says, I'm just here alone with you guys, which I thought was hilarious. And she's like, and one thing that she said that really kind of hit home to me was when she said, I'm just going to lay here for a little bit. Then I'll go back. I'm going to put my smile on. And so I seem happy to everybody or something along those lines. I'm like, I understand that. I totally understand that. Sometimes you just want to be alone, but there's people around. You got to put that fake smile on.
I wonder if she's more of an introvert. Maybe.
I bet she is.
Yeah. Some people would probably seek out the other crowds and stuff just to kind of escape from that way. But some people are more introverted, want to be themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then the next scene is the next morning is when she finds out. She says, if it looks like we've been crying, it's because we have. We just found out today is going to be the last round. The final round has been canceled. We're not going to have any more tournaments. This was in March. we won't have any more tournaments until at least May. She's like, I don't know where we're going. We live in these vans. We don't have anywhere to go. And I was like, oh, I felt so bad for her. And you see them go out and you see all these people and, you know, they all feel the exact same. I was like, oh, man, that's awful.
Yeah. That's their life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can remember watching Waco and, you know, listening to the coverage and them talking about possibly canceling it. And it was just kind of a shock to everybody. And, man, life before COVID is sometimes you reminisce on it and it's like, will we ever get back?
It seems so long ago now.
Yeah. So.
And I was just thinking, it's like, man. And one of the things I was thinking about, did they even finish the women's round? Because toward the end of the video, somebody come in on a scooter is like, hey, it's the men's champion. And I never heard them mention a women's champion. And before they all left, you saw everybody hugging. You saw tears. And I was just like, oh, my gosh. But this was the only video that I've seen from an athlete in the middle of tournaments really going through this, really vlogging this whole thing. I mean, you see a lot of the pro athletes in different sports, they get interviewed, but it's not them doing their own thing. And I was like, wow, it really hit big with me on that. And I was like, what a great vlog that was.
Yep, I'm down. You got me hooked. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, she did a really good job, and it brought out a lot of pros and cons of the lifestyle. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to have a passion for disc golf to have that life.
Did I tell you about Ezra Aderhold living in a Prius?
You did tell me about that.
Yeah.
He lived in a Prius before he got sponsored with Discraft. Now he's got a big RV, but he had his extra batteries in the floorboard, and he had all these crates that fit perfectly like a puzzle piece almost that held a lot of his stuff. And he cooked in a crock pot. He ate a lot of beans and stuff in a crock pot. He had a little setup where he would move certain things aside and have a little sleeping bag. That's where he would sleep. And he had curtains that he had little Velcro spots. It was crazy.
Well, sorry.
What? Sorry.
To me, that would draw another question. I mean, here you are. I mean, he's got sponsors and an RV. Paul McBeth's got a big RV and all. Why doesn't Paige have a big RV? Is it something she doesn't want? Is it something that's not available? I mean, is it? You know what I'm saying? It seems like you're seeing that more on the guy side than you are on the girl side.
She's got tons of money. She's talked about buying a property in Hawaii with cash. So.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, she's doing.
So it could be a preference.
I think it must. Is she still in a van? I don't know.
I mean,
as of last
year at Waco, so I mean, it's only been a year ago.
Yeah, if she's still in a van, it's definitely by preference because she's buying property in Hawaii with cash.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that just goes to show that she knows what she wants long term, as opposed to, you know, I've got money, I'm gonna spend it now type of person.
Well, maybe it's priorities, you know.
Yeah.
People have different priorities. Some people want, you know, they want the Lambo, and some people are happy driving a scooter, living in a mansion. So I mean, it just, you know, it just all depends.
Yeah. I mean, to me, all in all, great video. So if you guys get a chance, look up Paige Pierce, and I think that the title is something like van life or something along that lines. The vlog. It's from March last year. Really, really cool. Really cool.
I've got it. I can tell you what it is. It is. Yeah, it's called Living at Disc Golf Courses, Van Life BTS 2020.
Nice. What else we got to talk about today?
My list is on the phone that you're on.
I think that pretty much covered the list. Unless y'all got anything you just want to.
That's all I had on my list. So I'm thinking next week we'll be talking about the OTB Open. Actually, I did want to ask you this, Todd. Do you I mean, you look at the disc disc golf app. Do you ever do the grip 6 pick 6?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got mine too. Next week let's talk about that and see how poorly we did this week.
All right. Yeah. I think I picked.
Is this something I need to get on?
Yeah, you need to get to
It's
this.
I don't know if you win anything or not. It's just on the UDisc app, and you pick 6 players. It can be men or women on their tour, and who has the best finishes, you get points for based on that.
Okay.
That's a little fun.
And it's just something fun to do, I think.
Yep.
Let's see. This week, I have open up. I have Paige Pierce, Eagle McMahon, Ricky Wasaki, Katrina Allen, Paul Macbeth, and Calvin Heimberg.
Is that for the OTP?
Yeah, the OTB. I also did the one from I think it's Helsinki this week. I don't know why. I don't know any of those players. I just picked the top 3 men and top 3 women that they have listed.
I didn't even. Yeah, I have not kept up with Euro. That's pretty cool.
I mean, right now it says for the Helsinki, my score is 15, but my position is 1,175th.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Saying there's a chance.
You're not last.
Interestingly, right now on the OTB, I am also 15, but I'm tied for 196.
It's not bad.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
It is. It's just another thing that you can do with disc golf and have fun with the sport.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, anything that adds to it and adds a little bit of fun, that's good times. That's good times.
I think there's a fantasy league that somebody started. I haven't gotten into it yet. I'll have to look it up and tell you about it.
By the way, the OTB has 7,864 total picks. I am 196.
Not too bad.
Not bad.
In all y'all's pages, except for the 195 head. I mean,
Question for you.
yes, sir.
The games that y'all played this week and everything, and the things that you're trying to change with grip, stance, foot rules, so on and so on, do you see yourselves improving? Are you happy with your progress?
Go ahead, Daryl.
So far, I feel like every week I'm doing better. But one thing I have noticed is around hole 7, 6, 7 is when I start seemingly getting a little bit more control of my release point. There's like the first 5, 6 holes. I'm trying to pull them and trying to go a little too hard with it, and I pull it, or then next hole I overcorrect and go the opposite direction. But I feel like each week I'm improving, even though the back 9 today, again, well, if you take out that 1-5 over, wasn't that bad. But all in all, I feel like I'm doing better. My putts were very much low for the most part today.
Right.
Except for that one that I parked and then I banked it off the top. But other than that,
have you in your videos that you've been watching with like form, have you seen anybody talk about your reach back being in front of you, like if you're out here versus behind you? Because that might be something that fixes your release point.
Mm-hmm.
If you're reaching behind you and rounding, you don't ever know really when the disc is kind of leave your hand. It could be early, it could be late.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're out in front of you and it pulls through straight, I think that's something that might help you with that release point. But you can look up videos on it. But
yeah,
I've worked on that some. It's hard to remember every little thing that you're supposed to do in form. But I know when I go to a place that I go to practice a lot is my church. There's an open, not a field, but it's pretty wide yard, and then the parking lot opens up. I don't throw my actual discs because I don't want the parking lot to scratch them all up. But I throw some throwers, and I've noticed some increase in distance there. But translating it to an actual course sometimes is hard. But things I've worked on is that reaching out in front, the grip has helped, and slowing it down has helped. So, yeah, I've seen a little bit of improvement, but I'm still trying to get. I will say I went to Lynchburg College or University, and consistently was getting about 300, which normally a 300 footer would be kind of like maybe 1 or 2. So I was able to like walk out the U-disc measurement to maybe like 4 or 5 300 footers. So it was a little bit more for the better one. So I've seen a little improvement. I'm just not really. I'm wanting to get to like 350.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just takes time and practice, not the game, but practice.
One thing I will say this: watching you play from now to when we first started playing, not last year's round because that was just that one round, so I really kind of keep that separate. But when we first played at Sandusky when we first played this year.
Yeah, I think it's.
Or was it? No. It was Lynchburg. It was a Lynchburg University.
Yeah.
The first time me and you played. Because I was just thinking of going out there just throwing some disc, and next thing I know, we're on the first tee going. But I've noticed your game, from my perspective anyway, it looks smoother because, like I said earlier, it looks like you slowed it down a little bit, and your control is a lot better on your, for the most part on your distance. Sometimes on those shorter holes, you are going a little bit long, but I see a lot more control on those.
That's cool.
And it to me, your swing is looking a lot better.
That's cool. I need to do a video so I can look at what areas I can improve. We all need the video form. It'll help us. But yeah.
What about you, Derrick?
I mean, I've got a good friend that I play with, Jim, and him and I, we'll go out there and try different things and whatnot. Sometimes we take it serious. Sometimes we're just out there smoking and joking just to play, But I think the last time we played, we tried a few different things, different as far as, your run ups, not necessarily maybe running up, but taking more of a methodical approach on your walk up on your pad. Changing some grips and release points and stuff like that. I think it helps. I haven't pinpointed anything specific that I'm just like, oh my God, I need to do this every time, But like I was telling y'all, we were talking earlier, I said, if there was a way that we could video ourselves and then slow it down and kind of be able to critique, is my wrist too flexed? Is it dropping? Is my elbow up? Is my, you know what I'm saying? And pick apart your swing and then playing putter rounds. I think that's probably the most improvement that we can make.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm always playing by myself, so it's hard to set up your phone
right
in a tree or something. It's just, I've tried it before and it's either too low and you just can't get a good. Yeah, so that's going to help for sure.
Well, next time we play, I'll take some videos, and I've got some editing software. I can edit them and then send them to you.
Okay.
For a small yet nominal fee.
We need to get some more people. We need to get a couple more guys going, and maybe we'll just, throw a small, fun skin tournament or something, just for the heck of it.
Y'all just want me to give y'all money. That's all it is.
No, I'm not talking about nothing.
Zero.
We're not changing hands of anything. It's just bragging rights.
It's like, hold on, how much is it? Here, y'all just split it up. There you go.
No, I'm not into betting. I can tell you. Don't look for me to bring cash to a course. I promise you that. But no, it's just bragging rights.
Hand y'all the money, honk, and drive right on.
Yeah, and plus I have the Rip Revenge game. We could play that if you wanted to.
Oh.
We would not improve our game at all because you have to throw minis off the tee and left-handed and grenades. And
really?
So,
that'd be cool.
But it's fun. Yeah, I've never played it actually. I've just bought the cards and I'm alone. So
maybe we'll do that on the first 6 holes that are all open.
It gets really fun in the woods. I've watched Foundations guys do it.
Yeah, well, we spend enough time looking for disc as it is. I don't know about all that.
Oh yeah, we'll probably quit halfway through. You're right. I think you're right.
Okay. Have both of you guys watched? I know Todd, I know you have, but Derrick, have you watched very many of the Foundation disc golf guys, their videos?
No, I have not. Matter of fact, I didn't even hear about them till the last time we did this. I really didn't even know that was out there.
Mm.
They're here.
I'll have to go back and check it out.
Let me just say this. You know what, Todd? I ask you, what is your favorite one that you've seen them do?
You're asking me now, right? Because he has.
Yes, that you are Todd.
Yeah.
Oh, did you say Todd?
I did.
My favorite video that they've done?
From Foundation. Because there's one that I just absolutely love with a passion. Well, not with a passion, but I really love it.
Man, I don't know. I can't. Go ahead, and I'll try to think of something.
All right, mine is, guys, I know I put you on the spot with that one, but mine is when they went out there, they had the wheel. It was at Fallen Creek. And they spun the wheel, and it landed on something, and they had a bag of groceries, and each whatever it landed on, they had to put this substance on their hand.
Oh yeah.
One of them was like the queso cheese dip. One of them was peanut butter. One was jelly.
They put
one
oil
was like cooking oil.
Peanut butter. Yeah.
The peanut butter one grossed me out.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, that looks like baby poop you're putting on your hand. It just looks so nasty. And Hunter put so much on his hand. Yeah. They had baby food was one of them. I was like, oh my God. And when he threw it, I mean, you just see peanut butter going everywhere when he throws it. It's like, that was a fun video.
Yeah,
I really thought that was fun.
And then the other one, I think one I'm thinking of that I enjoyed a lot, I was laughing like crazy was, and I don't remember the name of it, but they had to basically, you were in doubles, and I think while your partner threw his, while it's in the air, you could decide to throw another disc just in case his was bad. And basically you had like one throwing it, tossing it up in the air, and then the other one throwing real quick before his touched the ground. And if it wasn't like a good shot from what they could see, they'd have to throw another one real quick before the other one hit the ground, if that makes any sense. And it was when they got to going, shot after shot after shot after shot, and they just kept throwing until they got a good shot. It was discs going everywhere. And they just had to like,
wow.
I don't know how they found all their discs because
that one I have not seen.
I think they played it at Camp Hideaway, or yeah, I think it was at Camp Hideaway.
That's got a lot of trees.
Yeah, they were throwing them everywhere. I highly doubt they got all their discs back. It's no way.
Yeah, there's two other that really comes to mind now. I think they were at Camp Hideaway when they had the 3D disc.
Yeah,
where you have someone with the 3D plastic, where it makes your own disc, and and then when that thing hit that one tree and it just shattered everywhere, and then it takes a chunk of it.
Yeah, you had to play
like a 3D printer.
Yeah, from a 3D printer. Yeah.
Oh wow!
One of the Patreons, I think, made them and sent it to them, and they made a challenge out of it. They didn't last the whole round, I don't think.
No, I think it only lasts like 3 or 4 holes.
Yeah, it's not going to.
Yeah. But then the one I watched today, and this one, it cracked me up. They were over at Lynchburg University. Doggone, I keep saying that. But they did the blindfold, and they had their wives with them, and their wives had to kind of point them in the right direction.
And their wives know nothing of disc golf, and they were just... It was so stressful. I was screaming like what to do because I wanted to tell them through the video.
I mean, Trevor's wife in particular, he's like, how far am I? The 20 feet? He's like, yeah, about that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It was like 60.
So like on one hole, she runs up. She's like, okay, I'm up here. Throw it here. It was great.
It was stressful. I was stressed
out.
Yeah, but the thing is like they put the hoodie on, and they had it covering their eyes, but they didn't take it off until they had finished was it 2 holes?
Yeah,
it was 3 holes. It was 3 holes.
yeah. Part of the fun, one of the most funniest part was them walking from hole to hole, because at the University of Lynchburg, it's trails. You have to walk to the next tee pad. It's not like right next to the basket. So
yeah, you got roots and stuff in the way.
yeah,
The one that hit
of course.
like Hunter, like he hit like a tiny little limb. He was like, "Oh God, what is that? What is that?" Something was fluttering near me. It's like, oh, it's a limb in front of me. It was great. I was like, that is hilarious. That is great YouTube content.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I really want to meet these guys because they seem like they are really fun, down to earth guys.
Well, on Tuesdays every day until like September, they're going to have a weekly foundation heads up, and they always bring a table out with all kinds of discs. So you could just, if you want to come out and play, you can. It's a handicap league, so they'll give you like a handicap score. And then
I don't think numbers go that high for me.
Somebody there had like a handicap of 25. I don't know. I had a 10.
Yeah. Where do they have these at? Are they different places?
It's always going to be Fallen Creek on Tuesdays. So,
I mean, do you go?
The first one was this past Tuesday, so yeah, I went, and I'll try to go. Usually, I'm free Tuesday evenings. Usually, so
Okay.
Oh, they're evening games.
yeah, it starts at 5, I think.
Dude, I'm down. So
Yeah, come on out. It's Fallen. You ever played Fallen Creek?
I know I'm not.
It's long.
They play. Well, no, they're playing the short tees. They have a short layout. So they have some easy ones, but it's a lot more difficult than Sandusky. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But is it actual scoring on it through the app or what?
yeah, you have to keep track of your scoring to turn in at the end of your round, and then he'll tell you how many points you got for that week, and they tally up the points throughout the whole summer, and whoever comes out on top gets something. I'm sure. I don't know what the prize is.
You get a sturdy high five.
High five. There you go.
Sorry, not a high 10. You're not quite good enough.
But yeah, you could go there and at least meet Hunter and Trevor. Nick Carl was there, but he'll be gone for a little while. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Really, it's like a tournament. It feels like a tournament. So it'll give you a little bit of a feel of how tournaments go.
One thing I did. What was that, Derrick?
Tuesday at 5, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Do you get to pick who you play with, or is that random?
No, you can if you prefer to play with certain people, you can definitely do that. Yeah.
I'm just looking at people.
Yeah, well, that would be awkward. Like if you don't know the people and you're like, "Hey, I'll play with you," that would be a little weird. But
like, you're really pretty. Same with you.
Yeah.
Creeper.
Yeah. So I think it was like 38 people that showed up.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I have to mention this. I went on the UDisc app, and I saw your rating. You played one tournament.
I did, yeah.
What was it? 8 what?
8. I think it's 8:15.
8:15. I just want to see if you knew that, because yes, that's exactly what it was. 8:15.
That's right. Man, you should have seen the blow up holes I had. It was at Moneta Park. It was hole 14, and I threw. Well, the first round I screwed up hole 14 both rounds. The first round that they had me tee off first in my group, and that was we did a shotgun start, so everybody starts at a different hole.
Yeah.
We started at 14. I started off first guy on the tee, and I hit first available right next to the tee pad. It clanked off of that and went about 10 feet in front of the tee pad. Everybody else threw theirs. And then I think I got up and down for a bogey. Second round, I made it past first available, but I hit a tree and it rolled down. It's a pretty severe hillside next to the basket with trees on the hill. Hit a tree, it rolled. Sorry, early release, went into some bushes. Then I did the sidearm, tried to get up to the basket, hit a tree, rolled downhill. And then I threw a upshot, hit a tree, rolled right back down to me. And then I laid up missed the putt, and then I got I think I got an 8. Yeah, I think I got an 8 or 7 or 8. So I had to blow up. That hole 14 was not my friend. But yeah, I finished 12 over par both rounds. And the first round was rated like 817. The second round was rated 813. They rated differently, but averaged 815.
I was going to ask you that because I saw 2 rounds and I saw you had the same score on both rounds. I was like, did they just put it in twice by accident?
Nope. And honestly, I think the scorekeeper actually got my score wrong on the second round. I think I was supposed to get a stroke better, but I didn't keep up with it myself, and I was just like, whatever. Like, it's whatever. I don't care. So yeah, it was pretty embarrassing on that one hole, but I had some good shots, but mainly I did it just to try out a tournament, and I don't have $50-$60 to just spend on tournaments all the time, so I might do another one this year, who knows. But getting married too, I don't think I will actually.
Hey, you now have a caddy. There you go.
I'm sure she'll be down for that.
I'm glad I haven't met her yet.
She said she'll try it out. I want her to at least try playing, and I'm hoping she'll like it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring her to Peaksview one time, and hopefully she'll like it. But she's pretty chill. I think she wouldn't mind hanging with me on some tournaments if I do go play. But
just do this. Take me with her, and that way she's got one person that she will easily beat. There you go.
Yeah, I told her she can't cheer for me. And most people, you have to be hush hush and quiet while people are throwing. So
yeah,
that would be awesome. All right, I just wanted to mention that because I was like, hey man, I forgot about that.
Yep, I'm moving on up. Watch out.
Yeah,
here I come.
Like the Jeffersons moving on up to the east side.
That's right.
You guys got anything else tonight?
Well, 9:18. I got to call Fabi, so no, I got
it. I should probably go eat dinner myself.
Yeah, I got to call Fabi. Be like, listen, how's your back feeling? Because you're gonna be carrying these discs. That's what Daryl said. I don't know. She's gonna hate me before I even meet her. Now that I think about it. All right, guys. We'll try to do it again next week, same time.
All right.
I'm having an absolute blast talking disc golf. I'm digging it. I'm having so much fun.
Hour goes by quick.
It does go by quick. And the sad part is I meant to end it right in an hour, and I could have, but I kept talking. All right, guys. You guys, again, thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for playing today and yesterday, Derrick. Having a good time out there. Good fun just being out on the course playing. But,
that's right.
Yep.
That's all we got. And see you guys next week.